I'm from Oregon where the rain hits slow. Tall ponds whisper where the rivers flow. Not Cali, but we keep it wild and broad with the Northwest, no flaws. Just City of Roses, Nikes on feet. Eugene proud where the Ducks compete. 4 seasons deep, yeah. The vibes complete.
Right there was, and in the beginning, that's what I wanted to be. It was a pimp. Because we grew up with him. One of our neighbors.
This is one of the OGPs that was running back in the
old days.
The old days. We ain't gonna say what days, but we're gonna have to get you an interview. I'm sorry.
Rose-colored cowboy. So and then one of our close neighbors became a pimp, and he was the same kid who used to play football with us in the big field out there and baseball on the corner, and all of a sudden he pull up in this pink Eldorado with a white girl. We like, what is that? Like, what do you think? But he got rings on each finger and medallions, and we like, oh, look at Lawrence, he tight, he this, he that. And like, I'm gonna be that. I remember I was at Holy Redeemer, and they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said a pimp. I got in trouble because I thought that was normal, because it wasn't. In our neighborhood, that wasn't looked at as a bad thing back then. That was influential. Like, you a pimp, you got money, he take his rings off and still play on the hoop with us, and then put them back on and go handle business. Like, yeah, you tight.
Man, they used to have me watching the dice games over here on the corner.
You see what I'm saying?
While they was getting their perms done at Golden House of Style.
That's what Portland was about. It was more family oriented because we knew everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't look at being a pimp as a bad thing. My neighbor was a pimp. You know what I mean? So that wasn't like, oh, that's bad. I'm like, oh, look at our new car. Oh, we got a brand new Cadillac. Oh, look. Because we know what his woman is doing. We laughing like, oh, look at this. Oh, she got fur on her collar. And
we knew what it was.
We knew what it was. I remember Buki used to walk around the corner and tell us, I give you $10, you can spell my name. Stuff like that. Damn. So that was just normal to us, growing up.
So, okay.
Living home was the best thing going back in the 80s. You couldn't tell them nothing because that's what it was about. We had a tennis shoe pimps downtown. All they did is wore sweatsuits and tennis shoes, man, and waved, man. But they was juried down, man, with the fighters, right? Like,
with the finest of things.
Man.
So, that's real talk. I remember them times. So, at what point do you see... Because first you seen the Crips, right?
Yeah.
At what point did you see the transition of that come to where there was Bloods around? Do you remember that?
I think the first time I seen some Bloods is when I want to say it was Ace. I think it was him I think it was Ace. It was Ace and it was Baby. And no, I take that back. That wasn't Baby. It was Ace and whoever had the Levi coat on.
Smoke?
It was something. He was light skinned with funny eyes. It wasn't him. It was another dude.
You remember Smoke?
Yeah, but I remember I was at Safeway and they jumped out the back of the truck with the Levi coats on with the fur inside. And I said, man, talking to C-Cac, rest in peace. But he going out the door backwards. He talking to me like, hey, all right, I see you. I'm like, all right, man, I'll see you later. Buzz here. I'm like, what you saying? Right? I'm like, run, Cap, run. Like, they chasing him. Like,
they chased him?
They chased him. Boots on, red shoestrings. I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, who was that?
You didn't know what that was about?
I didn't know what that was about. Like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is these people? Then next thing you know, I ended up running into Ace. I don't even know how that happened. I think I went to some reason meet y'all or something. And I'm like, who is this? And Boo here, yeah, it was crazy because they didn't trip off me, but they didn't really say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I remember going to James' house one day to go handle some business, and I walk in, and it's a whole house full of people, and they all in red, and I'm like, what is this? Like, thinking in my head, like, I ain't gonna say that because I don't know these cats. And I remember me and my cousin was walking across MLK Fred Myers, man, cutting through the gas station. And she playing. She see the car roll by, a coupe, like a burnt orange colored coupe.
It was in the burnt coupe.
Yeah, it was red or burnt orange. And she get to throwing up hand signs. I'm like, man, stop that, man. I make her put her hands down. These fools busted you, jump out the car, and slick Mikey Rule. All kind of cats. I'm like, oh man, here we go.
You knew it was gonna.
I seen it because they have red flags on their face. I said, oh man. So I just stood there. He jumped out like, what you throw up? I'm like, man, I ain't throw up nothing. You know what I'm saying? He like, what you throw up? I'm like, man, I ain't throw up nothing. He was like, something, but I'm dicky down. I got a blue dicky, blue rubber band.
You cripped out.
Yeah, I couldn't even, you know what I'm saying? I remember I had a pop in my hand. That nigga came back from Texas and slapped me. Man,
Did he slap you?
He slapped me so hard.
Did he slap you?
Yeah, it's like, pow, I broke across the MLK. Like, damn, right? I'm like, man, this nigga, I'm trying to breathe. I think I came straight to you.
I know
man,
you did.
I was like, man. And then when I had to go to James' house, I seen him. I'm like, that's him. It's him. And then James like, what's him? I was like, him, that's the one.
That was the one that...
James was like, what happened? I said, they pulled up him at the gas station. He's like, oh, man. And then, you know, whatever. I didn't like sleep after that. I didn't like it after that.
Oh, man. So, like, what made you want to become that, you know, or be a part of that, you know? Because I'm sure at that point you hadn't lost anybody, right, to death.
At that point, I was still young. I was still a kid. I used to see cartoon, rest in peace, Deion Johnson walk across by Fred Myers all the time. And I used to say, he got the lines in his hair. Who was that? And come to find out, he was from neighborhood. I was like, oh, I know a couple of neighborhood.
That was Markel's buddy.
Yeah.
When I first kicked it with Markel, that's who he was with.
Yeah.
Me and him from the school.
So I thought, I'm like, okay, I know these cats. And then I ran into the IVCs, met a couple of them. It just came natural almost. Like, this is who it is, you know? And they showed like hella love. Like, back then, I was, I'm wearing everything they wearing.
So what neighborhood did you end up claiming?
I ended up claiming Harlem 30s.
Why is that? Let
me tell you, because Mike and Sid was from Harlem 30 before they became Six Deuces. And I was running
for sure.
Dudes. Yeah. See, the faux trays, I never got on the faux tray tip.
Who was considered the faux tray?
All the ones, Scarface and them.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
They was faux trays. But, as time went on, what I mean? I was around them, but I was around a lot of people, like my homegirls, like they was IVC'd out. That wasn't me because I wasn't around them like that. I kicked it with them every now and then. It wasn't like a full-fledged thing. I kicked it more with, walking over to their house with Scarface and them. So that was more or less like, okay, I could have been from both trade easy, without, or start claiming it, but I didn't. I think I kind of bounced around from hood to hood. Like, I can't lie as far as that. It was still crib stuff, but it was just like, I can't find my place yet.
Right.
And then I think I had got, like in 86 or 87, somehow, whatever, I messed with Mike and them, and boom, that was it. It was all Harlem from there.
Harlem.
Yeah, and then I had went to L.A. one summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got shipped out of here because there was so much stuff going on here. I think, as a matter of fact, it's the year that Ray Ray died.
Oh, was you here?
Or a year after Ray Ray died, I think. Yeah, I think I left that summer. They shipped me to Reno that summer. Then I had to come back. I went back, and my mom was in Reno. That's why I had to go out there.
Oh, okay.
Try to get me out of here. Because they thought, at my school where I was going to, they thought the two girls that got shot I was one of them. And it wasn't me.
Did one of them die?
No, they didn't die, but they got hit. It was two girls, Paula and Tanisha. They both got shot, but the thing was, they thought it was me, and I'm like, nah, that wasn't me or whatever. But then, at that point, we all got split up.
So what year was that? Can you think about what year? So it was a shooting back then that you remember somebody getting shot way back then?
Yeah, it was Ray Ray. Our first person we lost was Ray Ray.
That's what I wanted to ask you. When was the transition of when it got serious? Was it at that point?
At that point, that's when things changed for me. It was no longer just kicking it. It was life or death. Like, this is what's happening out here, because that was the first time I had lost one of my close friends. Like, and then with that came responsibility.
Camino.
Right. So, and if I was to tell the truth, there wasn't really no Bloods in Portland. It was all Crips in Portland. Some of the most, reputable Bloods that to this day was Crips before they was Bloods, right? And so I've seen all of them, seen them all, do what they do, and a lot of them we go way back. Like I said, I started at 11 years old. I've been around gang members, dealing with gang members since I was about 11 years old.
So how did you get around them at 11 years old?
Man, I had older friends that was seeing them. The car fascinated me. It was bumping. It was making music. I had to know who them people was. Like, who is that? It was like the first booming car in Portland. Then like, who is that?
So
Then,
you remember the first time that you seen somebody that was so-called supposed to be a gang member?
Nervous. It was the Crips. It was Scarface and a couple other cats. They was, and I was like, but I was intrigued at the same time. I wanted to have that type of car. Like, that's tight. Like, where'd that come from? Like, that's music. Every chance I got, I jumped in the seat trying to go to Winchell's or wherever I can go to just to be there. You know what I mean? I'm in it, hanging out with them and not even knowing what it's about. They just taught me things like, when you see this person wearing red, that's this, and all this stuff, the politics of it. That came in the beginning, the politics. So I'm going to school, you know what I'm saying? Once I get in middle school, I'm going to Beaumont, I'm looking at people upside their head like, I feel like I'm the man, I'm the shit at that point.
Yeah,
like,
you know him more than them.
more than everybody. I'm carrying buckets of water across the street because the spot didn't have no water running. I'm getting paid to fill up these jugs of water. That's $20, right? Taking that $20, go buy me some donuts or whatever,
What yours?
Yeah, so that was the life, So once I got in 8th grade at Tubman, a couple IVCs stayed around the corner or whatever. I had changed. I go give me some mega cookies and chill out. And I bought my first Dickie suit with my own money. You know what I mean? Like,
so did you get your first influences from your neighborhood or from your school?
It was from my neighborhood. I grew up in a neighborhood where it was right around the corner from MLK. At that time, it was Union Avenue. We got prostitutes, pimps, drug dealers, whatever you wanted to see. We took one alley and we seen it all.
What year was that, you think?
That was back in 84, 85, 80. Just growing up, period.
Yeah.
I'm still a kid. I'm still going swimming in that peninsula. I'm still doing that. But once I leave that area, I'm coming back to the neighborhood where anything goes. Is what it is.
So, okay, I'm going to step back. How was Portland, do you remember it being before
the gang stuff?
Gangs came?
It was pimping and hoeing. We prostitutes on the corner. They was on the corner. We used to throw rocks at them. We used to laugh at them. All kind of stuff.
I remember that.
A little cat named Mondre. He was only probably like 3. He got cut with a piece of glass. Somebody had broke a bottle or something and hit him in the leg. And his mom was flashing. Sign was going off about her boy, right? And,
This is the day Ray Ray got killed.
The same day. Theron and Dietrich got into a fight that same day. What else? There was a lot of stuff going on weird. Like, just weird stuff, right? And I remember leaving. And I didn't get on the last bus. I left earlier. I left, because the last bus leave out the villa at 12:32. I think I left at, maybe 9:30 or something, And I remember I got a call that morning from my friend Kelly Weekly at that time. Yeah, Kelly.
Kelly was it, girl?
Yeah, that was my homie back then, Kelly and Quisha both called and said, something happened in the villa. And I said, what? I just left there. You know what I mean? They were like, Ray Ray got killed. I'm like, what? So I called Denise like, hey, they saying, what? We all jumped on the number 4, headed out there quick.
The same night?
Same morning. Because he got killed late that night.
He was out there that way.
Yeah, so by the time we got there, man, everything was taped off, blocked off. You know what I mean? It was like, man, this really happened. I think that, in my heart of hearts, changed my whole projection of how I felt about the whole thing. It was like...
You know how old you were?
Shit, I was 88, so I had to be 13, 14 years old.
That's crazy. That's a long young age still to be losing somebody.
It kind of it made me look at life differently. It made me view people differently. And it didn't make me say, "Oh, I don't want to do this." It made me say, "Oh yeah, now I'm really doing this. Now it's real. Now it's for real. Now I'm going to get my house shoes. Now I'm putting my hair in loops. Now I'm putting my Pendleton on. I don't got no gun. I got on a white t-shirt and Dickies. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? They gonna see me. They gonna see me. I'm not gonna change who I am. You know, and I kind of felt it was a lot of animosity and a lot of beef because of that. You know, and I don't say that like I had beef with them. I had beef with the people who did that. Because this was one of the ones, you know, they say it's always the ones that don't bother nobody. That he was one of them that didn't bother nobody. So why would he get killed out of everybody? And we got knuckleheads running around here doing everything up under the sun, and they last forever.
And they don't never die.
Yeah, and so that was one of my first heartbreaks, is to watch that happen, to see that happen. I didn't get to go to the funeral because I got shipped out.
Oh, that's when, they shipped you out.
I got shipped out right away. They didn't do no better. I went to L.A. So it's, you know what I'm saying? That was just, okay.
Yeah, they just said they needed to get you away from
here, but I went straight to L.A. I remember my mama telling me, don't bring no Dickies. I brought 2 pair, tan pair and a blue pair. I didn't bring no Pendletons, but whatever. She's like, take those rubber bands out your hair. No, because I'm going out to L.A. like, yeah, whatever it is, you know. But
how many people you think you lost in this?
In this life?
In this.
Before I actually just walked away from, well, I can't even say I actually walked away from it. Before I started viewing it as an adult, over 30 people. Over 30 people.
And you think that done something?
I forgot about it.
Oh, shit.
Paint splatters on the canvas, dreams in the dark. Kids on the block trying to find where to start. Ain't no compass, just shadows, no light in the park. But K-I-N-O-G spark, they ignite in the heart. You dripping potential, caught in the rain. Dodging gang calls, trying to rewire the brain. From spray cans to stage plans, flip the game. Entrepreneur paths, break free from the chain. They said it takes a village, we rebuild the village. Guidance through the arts, flip pain to brilliance. We all kids under God's eyes. It takes a village to raise our youth, no lies. The killing has to stop, the tears have to dry. Through music and hustle, we'll rise, we'll fly. The mic's like a sword, cut through the facade. Teaching them to lead, not to fall for the fraud. Turn the hustle from illegal to legal applause. Building futures with their hands, no longer at odds. K-I-N-O-G soldiers, they armor the truth. Fighting for the minds of the misled youth. From rhyme schemes to business dreams, they prove that the block's potential is bulletproof.